Hey, it's Costin with Solutions 8, and today I want to talk to you about why I think Google is the first and most important marketing initiative that you should run before anything else. And I'm going to use an analogy because I'm an expert storyteller. It's not true, but I am going to use an analogy. I have an autoimmune disorder, which is too much information, I imagine, for a YouTube video meant for a B2B audience. But it's relevant because it took me forever to figure out. That's the most frustrating part, actually, isn't even having an autoimmune disorder. It's not knowing what's wrong with you. And so for years, I had some problems that I just wasn't able to get diagnosed. And I went through 6 doctors and a nurse practitioner. And this was over the course of multiple years. I'd go to a doctor, try to figure out what was going on. He would throw pills at me or tell me to change something about my diet or whatever, and then it wouldn't work, and I'd go about my life, and then a few months later I'd get frustrated again and try it again. So 6 doctors and a nurse practitioner later, I have given up at this point, and I'm just done and going to just assume that I'm just an unhealthy person. And then a buddy of mine refers me to this specialist. And I go to this doctor, and he has me do these blood panels. It's almost $1,000 to do all this blood work he wants me to do. And I mean, they drew, I don't know what, 50 vials of blood. There was 0 blood left in my body, and they tested for just everything. And then they deliver these panels to him, and he has me come into the office, and he has the panels printed out, and then he's going through the panels, and he goes, "Oh, well, you have this problem. This is an issue. This is a problem. This is low." And I had an instant diagnosis. Turns out I have Hashimoto's. And not only that, but there's a bunch of other issues associated with that, tangential to that, independent of it. I was dehydrated, for instance. I was super low vitamin D count. But there were all of these problems that with one test, he was able to immediately tell me, oh, we need to do these things. And then now I had actionable next steps. And since then, I've been able to address it and handle it, and I have it perfectly under control, and I feel great. But he was doctor number 7, professional number 8, if you count that nurse practitioner. So it's shocking to me how quick other professionals were to, prescribe me major heavy dose medication. No clue what's wrong with me. No blood test, no initial analysis. Just, they poke and prod and take your temperature and put you up on the scale. And they're like, yeah, take, this highly addictive steroid, and let's see whether or not this fixes you. I think that prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. Those aren't my words. And I'm trying to remember right now who said them, but I feel like I was subjected to that. And I think that we do the exact same thing in our business. So you right now want to run marketing, you want to grow your business, you want to improve your brand visibility, you want to increase your traffic, you want to increase your leads, you want to do all these things. And you're going to talk to some marketer who, just like the 6 doctors I went to, is going to say, oh, you need Facebook ads. You need to rebuild your website. You need this video. You need to update your content. You need to start sending email. You need. And the issue with that is they're coming at you more than likely just with what they're good at, not actually what you need. Now, I'm good at Google Ads, so I'm going to tell you need Google Ads. But I actually think that you need Google Ads because Google Ads is the blood test. So the ability to say, like, oh, you're low on this isn't working, we need to up this needs to be improved, this is actually looking great, let's capitalize on this. The blood test that I had that helped identify what was wrong, you get that data when you run Google Ads, because you're taking somebody with intent to purchase a product and you're driving them to that product on your website. And if somebody says, I want to buy a sprocket, and if you have a sprocket page and that person doesn't buy a sprocket from you, that's immediately actionable information, especially if you're willing to spend the time it takes to dive deep into why potentially they didn't purchase. It's true for e-commerce, it's true for lead generation, it's true for SaaS products. Google is going to let you know what people are searching, when they search, what it is they click on, when they click, what it is they buy, how often they return, what questions they have. If you take some of the pro tips, you've been watching some of my videos, for instance, we recommend installing live chat on your website so that you can kind of get a better finger to the pulse as to what people are asking. Things like that Google helps catalyze. It's going to give you the information you need to improve the entire rest of your business. You're going to know what words resonate with people. That helps with your content. You now know what to say on your website when you might not have before. You're going to know what pages are converting and what pages aren't. So, that idiot kid that just wants to sell you a website, he wants to sell you a website because maybe your website doesn't look great, but really he's good at building websites. If I tell you need a website rebuild, it's because I have data that says, hey, this site speed needs to be improved, needs to be mobile responsive, we need to have this many pages, whatever. Google's going to provide you the information necessary for you to make subsequent decisions, and it impacts everything. I've got a little slide pulled up. I use this presentation on sales calls, but Google's going to impact your website, of course, the content, the functionality, your user flow, the way that you convert. It'll impact your sitemap, what pages you have, what pages are you missing, what questions are users asking when they're not converting that you can add a page to your sitemap and resolve that. Your marketing narrative, how it is that you present yourself, what you've named your product. If we had a client recently who they sell a specific type of cookware, and they call the cookware, and I can't use the name without just immediately giving them away, but the cookware has a very specific name. Well, when people searched for it, they were searching by something other than the name because they weren't connecting that directly. They were searching using kind of verbs, the way that the product is used instead of what the product is named. And so we were like, we need to rename this product, which, is helpful from a search perspective. It changes the semantic decisions. You've all, or probably if you've watched any of my other videos, that we harp on the difference between sell my home and sell my house. We had the highest performing real estate investment campaign for damn near a decade. And, it's one of the crown jewels of my entrepreneurial career. And it took us 2 years to learn that house is a more valuable key phrase than home. Because if you're trying to buy property from somebody and they're using the word home, they have a stronger psychological attachment to that property, and they're going to be less likely to sell it to you. So now I know throughout the entire marketing narrative, even if you searched for home, I'll probably deliver home in my ad copy to maintain relevance, but I'm going to begin recontextualizing this home into a house for you. Google Ads is going to influence your pricing. You can split test pricing. You view the efficacy of things, make things public, figure out what your competitors are, how they're benchmarking against you. Your offers and promotions. I won't read all of these. You can see them, but Google is going to influence your search engine optimization for sure. What key phrases are you going to target? You're just going to pull that out of a hat, go do a bunch of keyword research on SEMrush, bam. And then I'm not an affiliate, by the way. I just like them, and they gave me a shirt. Or are you going to figure out the phrases that are actually monetizable to you? What services you should offer? I can't begin for e-commerce especially. Google will teach you what products you should be offering in addition to the products that you have, because if somebody's searching for something, you're going to check your search terms and find products that you've been connected to that are maybe analogous to, but not exactly the products you're selling. There's product expansion opportunities there. How to splinter your services, same story. If somebody's searching for something and it's only a piece of what you offer, splinter that out, let them have it. Lead magnets, if people search for, if they have questions that you have answers to, it's a great opportunity to earn an email. Design decisions, if you're watching the traffic and seeing how it engages, who you hire. Market expansion opportunities, competitive focus, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Google is going to inform everything that you do from a business perspective, everything. So run Google first. I'm telling you, Google's the only thing you should be doing. It's absurd. I'm a Google Ads agency. I want you to run Google, but there's everything else is critically important. Email marketing is still the highest performing marketing initiative with the lowest cost in existence. Email is critically important. Run Google first so you know what you're saying in your email and who you're going after and what product you're pushing and what price it should be. Google's critically important to putting a finger to the pulse of your entire ecosystem and competitive market. So hopefully I've made my point. I kind of rambled there for a little bit. I've been known to do that. If you have questions or if you disagree or if you have comments, let me know. Hit me in the comments. I'll respond right back to you. I respond to all those personally. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Make me feel good about myself. If you want to subscribe, that'll be really helpful because if I get 1,000 subscribers, I get to start going live. And hit that little bell if you want to be notified every time we produce one of these videos. We're shooting one a day. So there's a ton of content here. Hopefully you can see that. And if you disagree, then I'm so sorry and rather embarrassed. We're trying to put our best foot forward. So appreciate y'all watching. Thanks for engaging, and I'll see you tomorrow.